This church is a place where Christ is loved and celebrated.
This church is a part of me.
This church is moving forward.
This church is welcoming.
This church is transforming.
This church is relevant.
This church is like a home.
This church is very good at helping people in need.
This church is here to stay.
This church is the hope and future for our generation and next generation.
This church is hope for the community. There are more than 20 churches around in Manchester area. But I think this is one of the first congregation established and still continue without losing continuity of mission, core mission, without losing, compromising who they are, what we are about. Very mission-oriented congregation, working with the MAC closely, the outreach programs has been a core DNA of this congregation. I deeply appreciate it. I want to celebrate with them. So we'll continue to carry that mission out.
My faith personally gotten strengthened because of the love and generosity and caring that our congregation showed us since day one. You know, they've shown us so much love and so much caring. My faith specifically gotten strengthened through them.
And Pastor Tae-Sung Kong has done a good job of leading us through visioning and mission work and reestablishing that in a new fresh mission and vision. My family and I have been at Members of South for just about 9 years now. We moved from out of state, and that was a pretty big change for us, and no family in Connecticut, so we were looking for a lot of activities to get involved with, and the church has kind of become our family.
I would say certainly the baptisms of each of the kids were highlights for us, and kind of watching that process early on, seeing them be embraced by the church body and by the church family always meant a lot. And really, as we added to our family, having them become part of this family was really important to us. We would have come for the first time in September of 2003 and been here ever since.
This church, it's a sacred place where our family has grown and been loved. And I love service projects and that the kids are helping in the community, giving back. I think that's really important that our kids do that.
I've certainly been blessed, and I hope that in that people have also been blessed. I'm proud of the people that had this idea and helped to fund this beautiful church. And that was the Case Kroll family, and they built the music ministry as well. I'm just very proud to be here as a member of the congregation. My family immigrated from Ireland way back so that my great-grandfather could work at the silk mills. My grandparents were members in the church that actually stood in front of this one and watched the whole construction of it. Everything we seemed to do revolved around this. We always had big musical events and great musicians, and it's a beautiful experience.
This is our choir home base.
Right, it's been our seat for 43 years, so we feel very comfortable here. And on this side, when you're sitting on the women's side, you can hear that 32-foot organ rumbling, and that's always kind of makes you feel like you're really here in church.
Bob and Phyllis became our sponsors. They used to have sponsors for new members coming in.
Right.
And they took us under their wing and just sort of adopted us into the choir and then into the church.
And in fact, at the end of the service that we came to just kind of try out the church, we ended up at the organ with David Morse, who was the organist and director at that time. And the following Wednesday, we were in choir, and we've been here ever since.
I started coming here when I was 10 years old, so that's 73 years ago. My father left home, and my mother was a single mom without a car. And she says, "We're going to the Methodist Church." And my dream was always to be a member of the chancel choir So I did and went off to Hart College of Music, but lived at home and took the bus each day. And this became my church, and this became my family. It was the music director, who at the time was Jack Byron Grove. Jack was one who encouraged me, and I always wanted to be like Mr. Gordon, Robert Gordon, and Bob Sandoval.
I've been a member of South Church since 1956, and I was lucky to have been able to sing there for 50 years. I went down, and the choir room was there right above the church office then, and Phil Traeger was the director, and I just fell in love with the place, and I've been going there ever since. I met marvelous people and long-lasting friendships. Bill McGugan brings me the upper room once a month, and I find it helpful, kind of inspiring to see what other people go through and how they feel about their relationship to the Lord.
I have been a member of this church since April 15th, 1956, when I was baptized here. The baptismal fount, the silver bowl in it, is in memory of my sister, so that's special to me. My father actually became a member here when he was 18 years old in 1942 to join the choir, and there are always lots of great singing opportunities here for people. I mean, I've always enjoyed the music, and that's something that just stays with you all the time, or can stay with you all the time.
I appreciate every time I hear it is our Austin organ. It's just wonderful to hear the sounds and the music that comes from that instrument. That's a big part of my worship.
I have lived in Manchester most of my life, and I'm happy to be called a long-term member of South United Methodist Church.
There have been some very big events for our family. 3 of our children were married here, and sadly, a funeral for one of our sons. He was born in 1964, but the funeral is in October of 1999.
I've done hundreds of funerals in my life, and helping with grieving people is a great blessing, and that's always meant a lot to me. The members here loved this church when I was here, and there were some lovely older people who this church was everything to, and to walk into that is a very hospitable situation. That was lovely. There are a lot of lovely people here, and this was really their home away from home. It feels actually very familiar. It feels like I was here yesterday, which surprises me, because I haven't been in the building in a long time. This was always a good room to preach in, because you can see everywhere. You can see the people. You know if they're ticked off. You know if they're excited. You know if they're glad to be here. You can tell if somebody's hurting sometimes if you pay close attention. So this is a very good room for that, and I always appreciated that.
We have a home that most other churches do not have. And I have been a member of South United Methodist Church since 1990. We came in, saw lots of people, lots of pews, but we also saw a gentleman named Bill Rood, who introduced himself, took us to a seat, and left us alone, which was what we really liked for our first time. And we kept coming back. Our kids came along, we brought them with us. So we've been a part of this church for 35 years. It's hard to believe.
I first came here in 1978 when Kathy and I were married here. We had a service here in the sanctuary with communion and had breakfast in Cooper Hall, and it was a great taste of what this church community was like. The people who came before us had a vision of the future of what a community of faith can be, and that's how we've been able to survive all these years. I feel God's presence here whenever I'm in this building, especially in the sanctuary. And my favorite times are in the morning when the sun is coming in from the eastern windows, and you can just feel his pleasure in this place.
The quality that we are bringing up is quality that can withstand the test of time, and we see that youthful exuberance, and all the little kids will be running around the house again. People feel the need to show up every Sunday, rain or shine. I've seen people who are in their 80s and 90s show up no matter what the weather brings. And that gives me hope that that sense of belonging is going to move the church beyond what we are today into the next generation. When I walk in every Sunday, my hope is that you can put a smile on somebody's face. I usher, and when I see the people before they even walk in. So my main objective is to make them feel at home. That means a whole lot to me when I ask them, how are you doing? How are you? Is there anything I can do to help? What can I do to make this service enjoyable for you today? Those are the things that mean a whole lot to me.
I just moved here. I was looking for a church, so I started going here. Finding out when I started dating my now husband that he had actually grown up in this church. That's kind of like the sign that, we were meant to be. I really enjoy coming here and being a part of this church. They're being respectful of how people's beliefs are. With the MAC charity, we've got the little pantry. We do the seasonal sharing where we deliver Thanksgiving and Christmas meals, and at Christmas time we also deliver Christmas gifts. I just participated in the crop walk, which helps raise money for MAC and for Church World Services.
We've always had open doors. It seems in recent years there has been a more diverse adults coming to our church, which is good.
Everyone is welcome here, regardless of their race, creed, country of origin. I think I would really like to see all people feel welcome here.
Looking back, you're always here, you're always meeting new, helpful, wonderful people, and just all the different events that people are organizing, trying to get people involved. And it's really a good community that's been formed, that's kept us around. Me and my family have been a part of this congregation for the better part of 15 years. We started with Pastor Mark. We were here with Pastor John, and now with Pastor T.S.
Mark Gold is what brought us to the church, because we moved here from New Jersey, and it was the next to the last year that Mark was pastor here, and Mark and my husband had both been in college together, so he wanted to be with Mark. Naturally, he was the only person we knew up here, except for our family. But we were taken into the fabric of the church quite quickly.
This church is the restful place for my soul. When I moved to Connecticut, we searched that the church around this area. I found this South SUMC. The main is the music, the organ. So when I come here, I was happy and feel very comfortable with the current pastor, T.S. He's the energetic. The sermons are very moving, and also the personal interaction with some of the church members taught me the many lessons also.
They built this wonderful, magnificent building. The meaning that we are also the shelter and rock, and Christ is our rock. So we are connecting people with God and also connecting with each other.
I grew up with the pastor's messages and enjoyed them, learned from them, and I'm still becoming a Christian, trying to be a better person each day.
You'll read the devotional, it makes you think about all kinds of things.
Makes you think deeper too. Instead of just reading the Bible, now you're really looking at it through someone else's eyes and relating their story to the Bible, which we find very thought-provoking.
Yeah.
This church is more than just a building. So it's more than just the corner of Hartford Road and Main Street. It's a sacred place where our family has grown and been loved, and I hope it continues to flourish.
We want to have relationships with the community and care for them where they are, find out what their needs are. And again, it's how do we carry out our faith and follow the example of Christ in serving our neighbor. I hope there's a recognition of outreach and service and justice and personal relationship, reaching out to individuals and populations. I think it's if we keep that at the front, and then who knows how that can grow and then be recognized by the next generation.
The way we love each other, the way we help each other, the way we help refugee families, the way we're putting our faith into action.
Well, it is an emotional support. I don't have very much physical presence from any of my relatives. So having people feeling supportive of me is like being emotionally hugged every now and then. It feels comforting.
Just the fact that we're able to keep going and maintain the building and maintain the ministries are really something to be proud of.
So we could weather this together, weather the storm together, and then to arrive where we are. So it's all about God's grace, and also again, the congregants, their resilience, their understanding. I am so grateful for that.